welcome to the Blue Corner. My name is Dennis, and yes, we're still trying to catch up with my collection update videos. This time it's gonna be April we'll be doing, and with the way the weather is right now, very hot, biology is kicking in. We're just not gonna waste any time. We're gonna get straight into it. As always, let's begin with the Blu-rays. From Germany, von allen Gestein besessen, I guess. Repossessed, for those of you that don't speak German, neither do I. This was German text, not much for that to read. Picking up a few other German titles, saw this being released as a standard edition. Did come out as a media book a while ago. I was just curious. It was Leslie Nielsen. I have seen it before many years ago and just decided, well, I want to rewatch it. So I added it to the basket. And of course, when it arrived, Kino Lorber announced their US edition of this. But thankfully, I don't need to get the Kino instead of the German. I don't like the German titles. So imagine my surprise when I actually flipped the cover around and it had the original title. So yeah, like I said, I don't need the Kino title now. Again, German text. If you can read it, you can read it. Yeah, not a good movie. I knew that going into it. I remembered not liking it all that much, but I felt like I want to rewatch it, and now it's in the collection. I laughed a few times here and there, but it's no Naked Gun trilogy, so it is what it is. Continuing on with the last numbered spine in the Disney cartoon collection I was missing, the Danish numbered collection I was missing. I picked up Winnie the Pooh, number 22. Danish text. Doesn't mean much to you, I'm assuming. This is out of print. Very hard to find. I haven't been able to find it since I started buying the cartoons. And out of nowhere, somebody was selling it on Facebook Marketplace. I paid a little more than I would have liked to pay for it, but it was the last numbered spine I was missing of the ones that actually do have a Blu-ray release. So yeah, I watched it. It's not one I'm going back to anytime soon again, but it's in the collection. Oh boy. Yeah. Next up, said it before, buying Steve Martin movies to get free shipping. Another case this month. I picked up Sergeant Bilko, Danish release. And again, rewatch for the first time in many years. And this one I actually enjoyed more than I remembered. I thought this was a fun movie. Steve Martin, slacker on an army base, not doing anything other than enjoying himself and breaking whatever rules they have. So yeah, it is a Danish release, but I just noticed there's actually English text on it. So if you want, I guess you can read that. So yeah, it also stars Phil Hartman and Chris Rock, as you can see. And I'm actually missing Phil Hartman. I imagine the movies we could have had with him since his passing. Oh, Dan Aykroyd. Almost forgot him. Yeah, fun movie. It's in the collection. I enjoyed it. Next, from Shout Studios, I picked up Last Man Standing. This was one I've been waiting for some time to get a single release. I did have a combo pack with this and Last Boy Scout, and if you've been following my channel for God knows how long or short, you more than likely know that Bruce Willis is my favorite actor still to this day, and I did not like that combo pack. I prefer having both movies separate, and now I do. I already had a separate release for Last Boy Scout, almost said Last Man Standing, and now, thanks to Shout Studios, I have both of them. Great movie. One I hadn't seen in many years. Again, like a few other titles in this update. Probably haven't seen this one since it originally came out, and I don't know why. It's Bruce Willis, it's Walter Hill. I really enjoy the older movies Walter Hill have made too, so I should have seen this more than once, and now I've at least seen it twice, and I enjoyed it. Bruce Willis, Western setting, gangster setting, what's not to love. Highly enjoyed it, this one, and well worth the pickup. So yeah, next from Vulgar USA, I picked up Customs Frontline. Big budget Chinese disaster action movie. I don't know what you wanna put it under. I did watch the trailer, and you can read the text here. It looked over the top. Ships crashing into buildings, all that stuff looked crazy. It looked like a Dante Lamb movie, if that rings a bell to anybody. Kind of wish he was involved in this one, but that's not here nor there. It does have the action sequences that's in the trailer. There's just not that many of them. I thought it would have been a little more action-packed than it actually is. But other than that, I still enjoyed it. There's still a good story to watch here. So yeah, and starring Jackie Chung. I always think of him in Jet Li's Meltdown, making fun of Jackie Chan. So it always gets me a little bit distracted when I see him. So yeah, only problem I have with this is it's Welgo USA, and apparently they've started doing MOD discs, so it is a burn on demand release, which kind of suck. It is imported from the US. I'm in Denmark. If this shows up not working, does it work 6 months from now? What not? Yeah, I don't like that trend, and that's sadly not the only one. I also picked up Unstoppable with Don Lee, also Vulgar USA. I'm becoming a bigger and bigger fan of Don Lee with every movie he makes. He is the modern day Bud Spencer, no doubt about it. Him punching his way through bad guys is just such a blast to watch. And it's no different in this movie where his wife gets kidnapped. He has to save her. And all the bad guys being put down. Yeah. See, discard, of course. And like I said, another MOD disc. And I've already seen a pre-order for a new movie that I want Welgo USA have on the horizon. Also saying Mastered on Demand. So, yeah. As much as I hate being burnt discs, at least we're getting the physical releases. So I guess there's always that. Yeah. Okay. Next, from Germany, I picked up Blood Sisters. One that was a first time watch. One I waited quite a while for. because Germany, for whatever reasons, are really high on media books. And the media book gets put out, and then in a lot of cases you have to wait almost a year before the standard edition comes out. I don't read German. I don't need the DVD disc. The high price on the media books, especially when I don't read German or need the DVD disc, is just not worth it unless it's something I really want. This was a blind buy, so this wasn't something I really wanted. I really wanted to watch it, and now a good while after I can. So I picked up the standard edition of Blood Sisters, and I was not too disappointed. I enjoyed the movie, and again, we do have artwork with the original title. So yeah, that's always been one of my biggest gripes with German releases. I don't like the German titles. Again, I can't read them. So imagine my surprise that this month I actually have 3 German titles where they have the original, the US readable title. I guess that's the real title in this case. Can't read that either, but still, yeah. Good action movie. Hong Kong action, girls with guns, bloodshed, martial arts, all there for it. More German releases. I picked up Class of 1999 2, The Substitute. I have the 2 previous movies, and of course I wanted this one too. And Germany seems to be the only one that'll put it out. So yeah, starring Sasha Mitchell, and from Step by Step, again German title, German text. At least there's English audio. The alternate artwork is just with the ratings logo. Fun, stupid 90s action movie. It is weird seeing Cody from Step by Step in an action movie, but I guess he did it in Kickboxer 2, 3, and 4 too, so it's not a one-off. Silly movie. I enjoyed it. So yeah, that's that. Speaking of German titles with German titles, German editions with German titles. That's what I was trying to say. I picked up Ninja Commando. Yeah. German title that they chose. That's not German. Yeah. I did not like this title at all to the movie, and yeah, it's again German edition, German text. So I was happy when I noticed that the original artwork I know from the movie also included the title I know. Ninjas in the Dragon Den, or Ninja in the Dragon's Den, and the artwork I know. This is a movie that Hong Kong Legends put out on DVD in the UK many years ago. Where one I was looking for in HD for quite a while, and sadly Eureka never did it. When they did a bunch of the Hong Kong Legend releases, guess I had to go to Germany to get this one. It's in the collection now. Quality not the best. If we do get a UK edition from 88 or Eureka, I will be upgrading again. But for now, I got it in the collection. Starring a young Sonata. If you don't know who that is, watch the new Shogun TV show, and that'll give you some kind of idea. From Eureka, I picked up The Adventures, Ringo Lam, directed, starring Andy Lau. Good movie, one I've wanted to see for quite some time, again, first time watch. And finally, thanks to Eureka, I was able to. And I quite enjoyed it. Let's see. Artwork. Andy Lau. Andy's parents getting killed when he was just a wee child. Having to get revenge when he grows up. And that's the bad guy. And I enjoyed the movie. I like this kind of movie. So, thankfully, we are getting them. If you want to read, you can. I'm not gonna go too much into the synopsis of these movies because the videos will turn out too long. This is my second attempt to make this video. The first attempt turned out to be almost 50 minutes long. I'm trying not to do that this time. So, let's just continue. Lady with a Sword, Shaw Brothers from 88 Films. Oh, shiny cover, original artwork, and artwork text. If you want to read synopsis, I enjoyed this one. A woman, or this kid, his mom gets killed, and his aunt, I want to say she is, has to help him get revenge. But when she finds out who the killer is, well, she hesitates. And that's all I'm gonna say. From Eureka, more Shaw Brothers, The Magnificent Chang Chen, The Magnificent Trio, and Magnificent Wanderers. 2 movies from Chang Chen, I would assume. Yeah. Did not enjoy a single one of these movies, to be honest. So, yeah. And I hate what Eureka is doing here. See the inner artwork here. Just artwork for one movie. Well, technically you do have both names on the spine. But let's say it's a UK release. So let's say you go into HMV once the slipcover sells out. And you see this on the shelf. How are you going to know there's 2 movies on this release, or in this release? You have to check the spine and then see the inside artwork is from the other movie. Again, both artwork looks like something that would be the inside artwork. It doesn't look like it is front and back artwork. So, yeah. And it is a 1-discer. Yeah. More Shaw Brothers for the collection. Like I said, didn't enjoy it all that much. Next, also from Eureka, I picked up Laurel and Hardy, The Silent Years, 1928. This is volume 2. Let's see, 10 short movies. Stan and Laurel. Yeah, Laurel and Hardy. That's not. I do know them best by the Danish name, which won't make much sense to you. This is the first time I'm watching these old black and white silent movies they've done. And this is, like I said, volume 2. I do have the first one too. I grew up watching a lot of the movies they've done, but they were colored, and from what I remember speaking. So, yeah, this black and white silent stuff really isn't for me, I guess. There was some of them that I really enjoyed. There was some I laughed quite a bit at. I just don't know how often I'm gonna go back to any of these shorts. They are staying in the collection. I'm not getting rid of them. I do wish we do get some of the colored speaking movies they've done too, besides the shorts. But hey, maybe that's just me. Okay, so that's it for the Blu-rays. Let's continue to the 4Ks from Germany. I picked up I Am Legend, starring Will Smith, of course. Now, I picked this one up because, well, technically I do collect Will Smith movies, and for whatever reason I didn't have this one. They are making a sequel to this, and I wanted to rewatch this because of that. I actually enjoyed this way more than I remember doing originally. So I really thought this was a good story. I just hate that, like I said, it is 4K. They are making the sequel from an alternate ending that they made for this movie, but the 4K disc does not have the alternate ending. That's only on the Blu-ray. So you can watch the movie as it was intended to, but if you want to watch the alternate ending, you have to switch over to the Blu-ray. Now, there is, like I said, a sequel coming, so I could see this one being re-released down the line with both endings being on the 4K disc, where you can choose what ending you want to have from the get-go. I would not be surprised. I don't know anything about it so far, but like I said, I won't be surprised. I do hate that it does have this rating logo and there's no reversible artwork without it on this one. So yeah. From Scream Factory, I picked up Time Cop, Van Damme. Always picking up Van Damme still to this day. Yeah, one of my favorite Van Damme movies, Time Cop. And probably the last bigger budget movie he was in back in the 90s, as far as I remember. 2 discs. Again, no alternate artwork. Now, this release did get quite a lot of hate online because there's absolutely no special features. They think them putting it out on 4K is special features. Yeah. So yeah, I don't care too much about special features myself anymore, and even less for a movie like this. I don't feel like I need that on this one. So it is what it is. I enjoyed the movie and still enjoyed the 4K disc. From Arrow, I picked up The Long Kiss Goodnight. One I had almost forgot all about. A 90s action movie that I actually really enjoyed. So this was a heck yeah, I'm picking that up day one. It was a nice rewatch. And if you don't know or haven't seen Long Kiss Goodnight and you like 90s action movies, this is one I would recommend. Samuel L. Jackson, Gina Davis, what's not to love? Let's see. 4K disc with the movie and a Blu-ray disc with special features and alternate artwork. Yes, this is the new artwork, of course, and this is the original. So yeah, 90s action on 4K. Yeah, highly recommend. Last, The Long Kiss Goodnight from Arrow. And you can still get the slipcover, I'm pretty sure. From 88 Films, I upgraded Miracles, starring Jackie Chan. It did have, or still do have, the Blu-ray 88 put out. Of course, I'm upgrading these movies whenever I can, and I freaking love this kind of artwork way more than what the Blu-ray had actually. The movie itself, though, if I was short on money, I probably wouldn't be in a rush to upgrade this. I don't think it's one of Jackie's best, but I seem to be in the minority and stuff like that. I see other people really enjoying this. I don't know what it is. I just didn't. And that's artwork, original artwork, booklet, and poster. But I knew this before picking it up, and I still picked it up. Yeah, collectors, man. Yeah. We're a weird bunch of people. Technically, next year is the last for April, but I do have a few other things to show. From Vinegar Syndrome, I did pick up Drop Zone from the Cinematograph E-line. Again, 90s action. I freaking love this era of Wesley Snipes. Demolition Man, Drop Zone, Passenger 57, all these movies. Art of War was probably a few years later. And technically, I will say I do like this artwork. I just feel like it shouldn't have blended into one another as much as it does, if that makes any sense. I would have liked the actors to stick out of the background a little more. Again, if that makes any sense. I, however, don't really like this book, or media book kind of style case they put it in. Like I said, this is in the cinematography line from Vinegar Syndrome. Feel like this would have probably fit better in the VSA line, but and again, maybe that's just me. So I don't like this gray. It just being gray and a red title, and then of course you do get pictures and text, like I said, media book style, and then the discs. I do like the casing for the discs. They are very secure in here, actually. So, yeah, it's not all downhill. But yeah, Drop Zone, 90s action, starring Wesley Snipes, Gary Busey, Michael Lerner, Yancey Butler, or Michael Jeter. That's not Lerner. Michael Jeter. Yeah, Yancey Butler and others. So, Drop Zone, again, well worth the pickup. I enjoyed it still to this day. And like I said, that's it for what I actually picked up in the month of April. But I do have two other titles that came in April. I know when this video is posted, we're still in June, I want to say. These did come in April, but I ordered and paid for them back in August of 2024. Two Chinese titles I bought via the site Media Psychos. It is a group buy site, and they do a lot of group buys. So on that front, I'll give them a little slack. But 6 months to get these titles is just way too much time. I'm not that patient. I really ain't. Isn't. Aren't. Isn't. You know what I mean. But yeah, they finally came in April. And the first one was I upgraded The Wandering Earth to 4K. Big box set. I did have the Blu-ray of this too. But I do have The Wandering Earth is technically a prequel that is out on Blu-ray and 4K in UK and the US. I do have that in a steelbook. So with that being 4K, I of course wanted the first one on 4K too. But it is a Netflix exclusive movie around the world, except China apparently. So China is the only country that does have a physical release of this movie. So it wasn't cheap getting to Denmark, especially not buying through Media Cycles too. They want a cut too. Shipping, customs, all that stuff. So very expensive release. Thankfully, I highly enjoyed the movie. And if you want big budget sci-fi action, and don't mind reading subtitles, you can probably go on Netflix in your country and watch it yourself. It big budget sci-fi is the correct term. There is a plan to move the Earth out of the solar system because of random stuff. So they put a bunch of rockets on one side of the Earth and try to fly it out of the solar system to survive. So, yeah, like I said, big budget sci fi, CGI, yeah, whatnot. And I enjoyed starring Wu Jing. Like I said, the sequel, or Wandering Earth, is a prequel. There is a third underway, which will be a direct sequel to this. So the correct order to watch them is 2, 1, 3. Yeah, yeah. And like this is the Blu-ray, no 4K rather. And then you get 2 big booklets too. The first one, all text, Chinese text, which I can't read. That is kind of waste of space rather when I can't read a single word of it. Kind of looks like the script for the movie with the way it's laid out. I don't know if it is or not. Oh, it does say script on the front. And then there's a booklet with more text and a bunch of pictures. So yeah. Like I said, I do have the Blu-ray of this too. Exact same case, same artwork and everything, just being the Blu-ray disc. The only one reason I wanted to upgrade to, besides getting the 4K disc, was my Blu-ray does have a bit of water damage up on top here, which kind of ruined the case a bit. So a little damaged OCD coming into play there too. And finally, again out of China via Media Cycles, 6 months plus to get one of my most wanted movies on HD overall. I did finally get Jet Li's first movie, The Shaolin Temple, in 4K. Now, technically, shortly before this 4K was announced, Germany put it out on Blu-ray. I did pick that one up, never watched it because I knew this was coming, so I wanted to wait, and I was not disappointed for the most part. This is a great release, display piece for sure, no matter what ends up happening. You do get this case with a bunch of goodies. Some Chinese text I can't read. You get a big booklet with pictures. You get a poster, which pretty sure is that artwork. I'm not gonna unbox that. And a bunch of art cards. And yeah, I don't know the name of this kind of booklet, but there it is. Now I say it's a display piece no matter what, because as happy as I am to finally have it, the quality of the 4K, good, audio, good, but it is a Chinese edition, and I don't know if they just use Google Translate for the subtitles, or somebody that isn't really that good at English making the subtitles, because damn, the English subtitles on this release are bad, really bad. I was expecting that on the German Blu-ray. Technically, I haven't even bothered to check the subtitles on that release, so I can't or haven't compared. But even with me having this now, like I said, it will be a display piece no matter what. if we do get a UK or US edition of this one day, I am still picking it up again. So like I said, it is still one of my most wanted movies to get a physical HD 4K edition. Again, not a cheap release to get to Denmark. I spent a lot of money on these two editions, and I'll still upgrade at least one of them if I get the chance. So with that, let's just go straight into how many I've watched and what I haven't watched. See what my score this month is. So of course, Shaolin Temple, I have watched it. Wandering Earth, I have watched the disc. Drop Zone, I have watched the disc. Miracles, I have watched the disc. Long Kiss Goodnight, I have watched the disc. Time Cup, I have watched the disc. I Am Legend, I have watched the disc. Laurel and Hardy, I have watched all 10 shorts. The Magnificent Chang Chang, 2 movies by him apparently. I have watched both of them. Lady with the Sword, have watched it. The Adventurers, I have watched it. Ninja in the Dragon's Den, I have watched it. Class of 1999 2, The Substitute, I have watched it. Blood Sisters or Dreaming the Reality, I have watched it. Unstoppable, I have watched it. Customs Frontline, I have watched it. Last Man Standing, I have watched it. Sergeant Bilko, I have watched it. Winnie the Pooh, I have watched it. And Repossessed, I have watched it. So my second month where I get a 100% score out of, 4 so far? Yeah, well, let's just keep it rolling and see how I'm doing. I will have scores here like I normally do, or here, I don't know which, you'll see. And before I get closer to the 50 minutes on this one too, I'm gonna end it here. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace out.